Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BNI. It's me, Gene. Wow. It's the afternoon after the night before. What can I say? That was an unbelievable night, an unbelievable result. We walk out of St. James's Park with the 3 points. And look, guys, I said that, we were going to start doing our watch alongs for the Newcastle game. And here we are. I'll be honest, this is one of the reasons why when we started the watch along, I was a bit skeptical regarding watch alongs because I know me, I know what I'm about. I love going to the game. I love being part of and being lucky enough to go to these type of games. And I was never going to say no to going to St. James's Park. But what an unbelievable game. Look, we'll speak a bit about the game. I think it's only fair we speak about the game at the start, and then we'll go on to obviously the transfers regarding what's going on with Alexander Isak and what's going on with Mark Guehi. But I'm sure, like everybody else out there, yesterday was a roller coaster. And if I'm honest with you, going to Newcastle, there's something about playing against Newcastle. It's always whenever we turn up there, there's something that's got to give. That's why when I predicted a 3-2 before the game, you just get this feeling that something's always going to happen when we play them. And what an unbelievable game. And for a 16-year-old to go and get the winner was just a fantastic achievement for him on a personal note, to come on and make the difference. And then from a Liverpool perspective, again, we weren't great, but we walk out of St. James's Park, where it's probably one of the most difficult games of the season. We've seen that all the big sides go there, and they don't tend to get a result. Last year we only do 3-3. So this time to walk out of that game with 3 points was huge for Liverpool. We started the season, played 1-2. I tweeted this earlier. The first 5 to 7 games, guys, I don't give a shit about the performances. All I care about is points on the board. That's all that matters. The performances will come. These players are too good. And when you've made so many changes to this Liverpool side, with 5 or 6 new players coming in, to get off the mark with 2 wins, 6 points already on the board, with a massive game against Arsenal coming up, that's all that matters. Don't worry about the performances. I get it. There's issues right now in terms of our defensive play, and we'll talk about that. And even our forward line, where we are one short, right? Definitely one short right now. But in terms of the title, like they always say, you can't win the title in the first 10 games, but sure you can lose it. And for us to start the season with 6 points was brilliant. I look around and I look at players who were unbelievable. Virgil van Dijk, what a colossal performance. But there's one player that I want to earmark, and that's Dominic Szoboszlai. He put up an absolute clinic yesterday, especially considering that he played at right back. I thought he was phenomenal. He didn't let Harvey Barnes move. Harvey Barnes didn't even have it in him to actually go on the outside or come inside. He kept him very quiet. His defensive work was brilliant. He came inside, took care of possession, and actually put up an unbelievable performance. And this is what Dominic Szoboszlai is. He gives you the energy. He gives you the tenacity. He's actually I thought he was actually quality yesterday on the ball. And that dummy at the end for that goal, wow. I was just praying when the ball was going across, leave it. And he did. And, guys, what an unbelievable finish from our 16-year-old Rio. He really announced himself to the world. And to be able to take that on, first time, and to put it pinpoint into the side netting in the 99th or 100th minute, was just unbelievable. And this kid is a special kid. We wanted somebody to come on and make the difference. Arne Slot, that's 2 weeks in a row where substitutions have come on and made the difference. Chiesa against Bournemouth, and now Rio against Newcastle. And it was always going to be tough. I've got to give credit to Newcastle, guys, because for us, from a Liverpool perspective, 2-0 up with the opposition down to 10, and to concede 2 goals is diabolical. That is shocking from a Liverpool perspective. That shouldn't happen. It can't happen going forward. And we really, really need to address this in terms of our defensive display yesterday. Because I thought Kirkes for the first goal wasn't strong enough. He didn't jump. He didn't jump. He needs to do better at the far post. And Kanate for the second goal was disgusting. You have to be able to be strong enough. He's not a small lad. He's a big lad. He's got the physicality, and he didn't perform yesterday. And Kanate hasn't been at the races for a good number of weeks now. People can say towards the back end of last season as well. That didn't really bother me because we'd already won the title. But at the start of the season, I thought, forget about the end of last season, turn up now. This is when it matters. And if I'm honest, the 3 games that he's played, he's arguably been Liverpool's worst player. He hasn't turned up. Florian Wirtz, I thought he was going to have a good game. Again, he didn't turn up. The physicality, the pace of the Premier League. I understand going to Newcastle, one of the hardest grounds in world football right now, because it is. There's no make no mistake. It's a difficult, difficult ground to win. And we walked out of that. We were lucky enough to get the win. But this is what champions are made of. You go to these places, forget the performance, you pick up the 3 points and you run. And that's exactly what we did yesterday. We were lucky to get the result. We got the win and we ran. But yeah, guys, unbelievable performance. I was lucky enough to be there. It's one that I won't forget. And yeah, let's onwards and upwards. We can't look too much into the performances. I get it. People are going to look at the defensive lapses. We've conceded 4 goals, 2-0 up in both games, and still pegged back at 2-2. That's not good. That is definitely not good. It's going to show that in our forward line, we are beginning to play. I get Salah wasn't great yesterday, but what a player Hugo Ekitike is. Finish, fantastic. First time finish, man. That's 3 in 3 for Hugo Ekitike. Unbelievable finishes. All 3 of them. The first at the Charity Shield, unbelievable. Second, got a bit of luck, but tucked it away. And yesterday's finish, first time, bang, straight into the side footed, straight into the corner. Brilliant, brilliant finish. So yeah, in terms of performance, look, we have to move on and because we have a massive game against Arsenal. Both teams are on 6 points. Liverpool at home, we have to get a 3 points. If we can start the season by playing 3 and winning 3 without being at our best, that's a sign of champions. That's a sign that Liverpool we're on the roll. And if we can bring in Mark Guehi and Alexander Isak, then we're talking. Then we mean business. And let's go on to let's start speaking about Alexander Isak and Mark Guehi. And I'll start off with Alexander Isak. And first and foremost, I think it's only fair I speak about the first tweet that came in the day. It was from David Ornstein. And David Ornstein, via the Anfield sector, big up Josh. He goes, some fall of clarity should arrive in the coming days. Newcastle do not intend to sell, but they're scoring off the market for potential reinforcements suggests that they may yet change. The pursuit of Jan Visser and Larson continues, while other options will also be under consideration. If Newcastle manage to strengthen satisfactorily and Liverpool submit an offer for Isak, then they deem suitable, it is possible a move will evolve before the cutoff. But there are a lot of ifs and no guarantees of how it ends. This could go down the wire. Again, yeah, look, we knew we knew Newcastle need to bring in reinforcement. We've known that for a little while. And if Newcastle do bring in their reinforcements, Liverpool will pounce. Liverpool are ready to pounce. Alexander Isak, from what I'm being told, and with some of the comments that you guys have put up, I think you guys are quoting Lee Ryder, and I'll bring his tweet up saying, attempts to get Isak to stay at Newcastle took place at the striker's home yesterday, but the Sweden international is sticking to his guns and wants to leave the football club. Leaves the club. Lee Ryder. That's telling us that he wants out. He's sticking to his guns. He doesn't want to leave. We know the big owners were in town yesterday. We saw them at the game, and now they want out of. Still wants out. He still wants to leave. Wait, guys, you have to bear with me for 10 seconds. Apologies, guys. I've got the kids in, obviously, with it being holidays, and they've just gone a bit loop here. But this is massive, massive, massive news that Alexander Isak is sticking to his guns. He doesn't he still wants to leave. He spoke to the owners, they've been in town, and he's even told the big owners that he still wants to leave Newcastle and join Liverpool this summer. Massive, massive news this is. And I genuinely believe that this deal gets done. This deal gets done before the transfer window closes. It's a massive, massive deal. And I'll be honest, over the last 3 games where I've watched Liverpool, I look at this and I think the minute Hugo Ekitike comes off that field, and I even said it yesterday to the lads that I was with, the minute he came off, I was not happy. I do not like it when Ekitike came off that pitch, because I always feel as though we lose our in terms of our forward line, we don't look as strong. We lose his potency, we lose his hold up play, and it just doesn't tick. It doesn't feel right. We don't feel right, and we need to bring in another forward. And Alexander Isak comes in. He gives us, you're talking world class level striking ability, where he can drift, he can get involved. His finishing is unbelievable. And I always felt as though the opposition, Newcastle, even though they were down to 10, when they came on for the next 15 minutes, they battered us. I know the ball was just about throw-ins and corners. It wasn't pretty, but they put us under a lot of pressure. And fair play to them. It was their plan. It was their game plan. They were down to 10 men, and they did really, really well over the last 15 minutes. We couldn't get out. And I have to give them them credit. They didn't even allow us to get out for 15, 20 minutes when they were down to 10 men. And you got to give credit to Eddie Howe in terms of how they pressed us, in terms of how they harried us. You got to give him a lot of credit. But we still managed to win the game. Alexander Isak is massive. Alexander Isak is the one player that we definitely need in that forward line right now. We simply can't go into the season with not bringing in a forward. It would be criminal if Liverpool don't make their mark on a forward, because if I'm honest with you, it just doesn't make sense. So in terms of Alexander Isak, I believe over the next day or two, Liverpool will make their move. Liverpool will make their move. Now, Newcastle do have to bring in reinforcements. Newcastle are looking at reinforcements. We've seen that they look to Strand Larsen, Visser, and a few others. We just need them to make a firm bid that's accepted, and then we will begin to see the domino effect. We will begin to see Liverpool ready to pounce. And I think by the end of the week, Liverpool will make their move for Alexander Isak and test Newcastle's resolve. I'm going to go to a super chat now. I don't want to miss it before we start going on. It's from Ethan Chadwick. Ethan, big up. Thank you very much for your super chat. Supporting this club is not good for your mental or physical state, but damn, I love this football club. Look, Liverpool is all emotion. This football club is built on emotion. We live for these type of moments, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I wouldn't have it any other way. Imagine not having these moments. Yes, there's times where you get heartbroken. Yes, there's times when you're in the dumps, but the highs are bigger than the highs that we experience. Not many football clubs experience the highs we've experienced over the last 5 or 6 years. Even with the lows, not many football clubs experience over their whole, since the club was really started over 50 years, 30 years. We're lucky to support this football club. We're lucky that we're Liverpool fans, and we go through these experiences. And again, yesterday, yes, it might not be good for your mental or physical health, but boy, this football club is an unbelievable football club, and we are lucky to support this football club. We were lucky to be chosen to support this football club. But yeah, I'm still buzzing. My voice isn't the same, I'm not gonna lie, but you know what? Who gives a crap? But big up, Ethan. Thank you very much for that. Right, Keith Dowie, where we go. You know, Ibs, I agree with you, man. I've mentioned this many times. Liverpool, if you're Pakistani, I get it. We're like the Pakistani cricket team. We give you some highs, but we give you some lows at the same time. Let me check the Anfield sector. People are mentioning the Anfield sector. Bear with me. Oops, Twitter's gone weird. Or if somebody can put up the actual message, that I can share it, put it on screen, or make my life a bit easier. Right here, wow, it's a flipping long one, man. Sky Sports Keys. It will be interesting to see what comes out of the meeting, whether it was a case of a last try from the PIF to try and convince Isak stay, or was it a discussion to say yes, you could actually leave for Liverpool? I still don't think it's written in stone as to whether he will remain or leave. If he was to leave for Liverpool between now and Monday's deadline, it would be a British transfer record. Newcastle are working ferociously in the background to line up a couple of replacements. I still believe if Newcastle manage to bring in 2 replacements, he will be allowed to go. I'm not going to read everything, but I'll just go through it in terms of speaking about Strands last. And they are very active. They are still trying to sign players this window. I think that it is because there's a decent chance that Isak could leave between now and Monday's deadline. A lot can change in the next 5 to 6 days. It's a very, very fluid situation at St. James's Park right now. Look, if you read between the lines, if you read between the lines, you can tell that there's something happening in the background. There is an acceptance that Newcastle will accept a bid for Alexander Isak once it comes. And from a Liverpool perspective, we just have to play the waiting game. I believe as soon as one is through the door, Liverpool pounce. One comes in, Liverpool make play, Liverpool pounce for Alexander Isak. That will give them the money. And I think the second player, before Isak goes, Newcastle will have had him sorted, boxed off, in terms of the in terms of the fee, in terms of the wage structure and the deal itself. And then when Isak gets completed, Newcastle will pounce and bring in their second striker. But the key is getting one in through the door. I think now we've heard, PIF have come, they've spoke to the player, he's not budging, he still wants out, he still wants to leave this football club. And that's unbelievable news. And the news coming out now is an acceptance. They're slowly letting it out there now that, you know what, he looks like he's going to be off. In terms of the fee, I think it's still going to be a high fee. Don't be expecting 120s. People are saying 130s. A few journalists are saying will be in this 130 bid will be in this week. I think you're talking 150 million. 140 million, not 150, including add-ons. There will be add-ons included to this deal because I don't think Newcastle will allow him not to leave without some add-ons. But them add-ons are going to be add-ons like winning the title, winning the Champions League, winning a Ballon d'Or. And with respect, if any of them add-ons are met, I'll happily pay 140 million for Alexander Isak. I'll be straight. If it's 120 plus 20, 130 plus 10, I don't care. Get the player in. As long as the add-ons are like the ones I'm saying, I have no issue. I have no issue paying that fee. And people can say it better not be 150. We should walk away at 150. Why? We shouldn't walk away. If he's the player that we want, and he's the one that Liverpool have been as earmarked as their number 9. We've been stung in the past because we haven't paid fees for certain players. Why, for once, shall we not pay premium on arguably one of the best strikers in world football? He wants us, right? He's done everything he can to come to us. Do not care about the fee. Get the player in. Doesn't matter. Get their player in. That is the most important thing, is getting that player through the door. Because number one, guys, we cannot go into this season with the forwards that we've got. It just doesn't make sense. There's just way too many games. And Liverpool need to have certain things in place in terms of our forward line. Alexander Isak needs to be a Liverpool player come the 1st of September. I'll be honest, I don't want to accept second best. If we've been crying over the years saying, there's no right player to join us. The level isn't there. Well, the level is there, but you got to pay the door. Pay the money, doesn't matter what it is. Pay the door for this footballer and get him through the door. I don't care about the fee. We shouldn't care about the fee. If the players, if the management want him, Slot wants him, the board want him, we want him, it doesn't matter. Get that player in through the door and let's go and attack this title and try and win it. And again, I just will hope and pray that we manage to get him in, and I'm confident, especially with the murmurings that are coming out now that we want the player. I think I think this player happens. Let's move on to Mark Guehi, and I want to speak about Ibu Konate first before we speak about Mark Guehi. Biggest problem at Liverpool right now is the form of Ibu Konate. Over the last 3 games, he's looked shocking. I'm one of his biggest fans. I've defended him all the time. I do not want him to leave. I want him to sign a contract. I believe there's a world-class player in there. But right now, he has been absolute shite. He has been dog shit at times. Yes, he might have won a few headers at the back end of the last game, but he simply hasn't been good enough. And when me and Asim were speaking about this yesterday, when Liverpool, when we're in build up, we simply don't have the players who are good enough to make play. His build-up isn't that great. We look lost at times. Our get-out ball yesterday was always go long to Gakpo and see if we can get a flick on. That's not Liverpool. We're a football team who plays on the front foot. We're a football team who have players we should have players who are good enough to receive the ball from the centre-backs and begin to dictate play. We've not seen that this season. He hasn't been good enough. He doesn't possess the characteristics in terms of ball playing. With all due respect, he just doesn't have them. And with Trent going, Bradley and Frimpong don't have them characteristics either. Van Dijk does have that, but when they've actually put a player on Van Dijk, they allow Ibu Konate to receive the ball, and Ibu Konate doesn't simply have the technical ability to be able to spray these balls in or be able to take play these passes. This is not his fault. That's just not his ability. But we need to be able to build up a lot better, and we simply don't have that right now. So bringing in a Mark Guehi is a must. Number one, for build-up. Number two, because Konate has been absolute shite, and we need real competition. Mark Guehi is an international. He's a captain. He's a leader. He fits this Liverpool team to the T. He can play across the back line, and he is the perfect defender for Liverpool right now. He possesses characteristics that Ibu Konate doesn't possess. And yes, Ibu Konate might be brilliant in the air. He might have the towering presence, but he hasn't been a towering presence. Yet he wasn't a towering presence yesterday for that second goal. And to be honest, he's been making a few mistakes. We need to pile on the pressure on Ibu, bring in a player who's going to hopefully increase his level, because he's going to realize I'm not going to be able to get into this team if I'm not on it. And believe you me, Mark Guehi isn't a player that's come to play second fiddle to nobody. He's come to start. And we have to get this deal over the line. He's a £60 million player. Palace rejected £60 million for this, for Mark Guehi from Spurs, Newcastle, and a few others, I think, last summer. We're getting him, even with 1 year left on his contract, we're getting him on the cheap. We shouldn't really be fighting. I get it. We've got the players right now. We can let it play out until Thursday when they play their second game, because he's had a preseason. He has been playing, but we really, really need to get Mark Guehi through the door. It is imperative that Mark Guehi comes through that door, because defensively, yes, we haven't been great. We've not been good enough, and we need reinforcements. Leone's a kid. He's only coming through. He's only 18, 19 years old. Simply not. You can't bring in a player like him. Just come through the door 2 weeks ago. Throw him in against games like Newcastle. We've got Arsenal next. It's not good enough. We need to bring in Mark Guehi. We have got a few weeks. 7 days to go. Liverpool need to do everything they can to get Mark Guehi. There's people saying that he's probably more important right now than Alexander Isak. I classify both of them as exactly the same in terms of importance, because we're really short up front. One injury and we're struggling, and at the back we're not on form and we're short. So they both need to come through the door before this transfer window closes. And look, he has been poor. Konate has been poor. I'm his biggest fan. Do I believe he'll get his form back? Yes. Regardless of his contract situation, I think Ibu Konate will still be good. I think he will come good. I think he will be still fight for his place and be good enough to take that place, even if Mark Guehi is here. Because Ibu Kanate over the years has proven to us that he's still a brilliant centre-back. He just needs to get his act together, start playing proper football and get going. And people can say, his head's in Madrid, all that type of stuff. I don't think 100% his head's in Madrid. Might be, obviously with his contract situation and all that type of stuff, but I think he's a professional. He'd probably still want to, even if he is going to leave in a year's time, I still think he's one of them that will give you everything. He'll fight for the badge, all that type of stuff. But I want him to sort himself out ASAP. And we're going to have to wait and see what happens with that. Let's go through some comments. I'll go through the comments. Anybody's got any questions, just fire away and let me see. And Chris, Leone versus Arsenal, especially on set pieces. Set pieces will be a problem. Arsenal are the best set piece, probably the best set piece team in the world. We've seen that they flipping the last two openers have been set pieces. One against United, and we saw one against Leeds as well. And to be fair, they've scored a few set pieces against us over the last couple of years as well with Gabriel and stuff. We simply cannot concede to another set piece. I will be absolutely pissed off if Liverpool concede to a set piece against Arsenal on the weekend. We have to be on it. We have to be on it, and we simply can't accept. If we can get rid of these silly fouls, and it's the games at Anfield, we need to turn up, show what we're about, and hopefully we'll be able to hopefully get the 3 points. But we need a performance. We need a big performance from our defense. Kirkes hasn't exactly hit the ground running yet. Frimpong, unfortunate injury. Soboslai, unbelievable yesterday. I thought Van Dijk was very good. Ibu and Kirkes need to get going. They're the two right now that are giving me slightly worrying signs. And if I'm honest with you, Saka not playing against Kirkes is a bit of a relief. I'm not going to lie. Saka's an unbelievable talent. He can cause problems against any team in the world. And him not playing will be a slight, advantage to Liverpool. And we have to make that advantage count come the weekend. So it'll be massive. Think Ashfaq, I think is Ash. Think we should be in the Hinsapi. I don't know how you say his name. Hinkapi conversations. I don't think we want him. I think we've signed Leone, and I think we're going to go for Mark Guehi, and I think we're done. We might want to get rid of what's his name, Simicas before the window closes, but I think we'll be. I don't think we will be in the conversation. I'm shell shocked as to what Arsenal signing every single defender in the world. I think they've got an 11 full of defenders, centre backs. That is. So it'll be interesting to see how that happens. But I'm not. I don't think we will be. Collie, Tricks, Gene. When we'll send the link. Right. What you need to do is you need to go on Twitter X, send a message to Born Unread or Asim, and then they will send you a link to our BNR's Ultra WhatsApp group. Whoever's not Ultra in here, if you fancy becoming an Ultra, $4.99 a month, exclusive content coming your way. We've got a WhatsApp group, loads of content, and it's always kicking off on that group. So if you fancy it, do show your support. There's nearly 500 of you in here, guys. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. We are on our way to 20k, so definitely show your support. And yeah, like I said, we are trying our best to give you as much content as possible. Dame goes, we need to keep Elliott, Gene. Yes and no. Yes and no. I understand you want to keep Elliott. I get it now because the reinforcements ain't there. But when I look at this team, and if you're going to get 40+ million for Harvey Elliott this summer, you sell. I think we have to sell. Rio's coming through. McAllister wasn't there yesterday. He'll come back as well. We got our right backs out. Hopefully they'll be back soon too. Can't sell anyone, Dame. Yeah, I get it. I can understand the shouts that they're probably thinking, you know what, let's just keep him now. We need another player in that sort of area, and we need the strength and depth. I get the shout. I think they will sell. I think Elliott wants first team football, and I think he wants to go to RB Leipzig from what we were told about a week ago. So it'll be interesting to see. I think they're just waiting for that Xavi Simons deal to go through, and then RB Leipzig will make their move for Harvey Elliott. And going on Harvey Elliott, a tweet came out earlier. So no, not that one. It was this one, David Ornstein. Harvey Elliott is one to watch over the coming days. There is interest from RB Leipzig, while there are also suitors in the Premier League and elsewhere. Given that Liverpool do not have, I can't even fucking say that word, of players in Elliott's position, it is not certain he will go. Yeah, I get it. I get it completely in terms of him wanting to stay at this football club, Liverpool trying to keep him because we simply need bodies as well. We need bodies, and he's a good player. He comes on, he makes the difference. He was involved in the goal yesterday. Recently, when he's come on, I don't think he's been great, if I'm honest with you. Over the last seasons, Elliott used to make a real difference when he used to come off the bench. He'd come off, he'd make a difference, and he'd either get a goal, make a really, really good pass, or get involved. And I didn't really see that over the last few times where he's come on. So we need a bit more from Elliott. We need him to come. If he is to stay, look, he loves the football club. We love Harvey Elliott. He always wears his heart on his sleeve. But sometimes, if a fee comes in for a player that makes sense, Liverpool have to act. And we're at that stage now where we will have to act regarding Harvey Elliott. If Harvey Elliott leaves, I would go for a Malik Fofana, man. I'd go for him. I don't know how much money we've got. I don't know what sort of the budget is for this summer, but if you're getting 40 plus million for Harvey Elliott, who hardly kicked the ball last year, I would sell. Kevin goes, yeah, this is another fair comment. We need Elliott to stay. We need Elliott to stay, especially in January. Interesting. But do you reject 40 million pounds for him? That is the question. Do we reject 40 million pounds for him this summer and let it go out, or bring in a Malik Fofana, bring in somebody who can give us some sort of versatility of that over the front line, because we are short. And if I'm honest with you, if you got an offer of 40 million pounds, question to you all, do you sell? Yes or no? I would sell personally if we were to get a 40 million pound bid and bring in a Malik Fofana, 100%. A few yeses already. Bring in Fofana 100%. From thingy, sell, yes. Shaq, yes. Not this Ashes, not this late in the window. I get no. Cathal, no. They say we'll keep. So there are. I reject 40 million pounds for him if we don't bring in someone versatile. I think that's a fair comment, John O. Henry. I think that's a fair comment. I tend to agree with that one. If we bring in a Malik Fofana, then I think you say yes. I think you'd say yes. Sheen, you don't understand. We have Rio. I think Fofana can play on both sides. I genuinely believe he can play on both sides, and we need reinforcements as well. Malik Fofana can play on both sides. With Salah going out to AFCON, as much as I love Rio, and he was unbelievable when he came on yesterday, guys, he's still just turning 17. Not that I don't want him to be thrown in, because I'm so glad he came on. I want him to be thrown in the deep end at times, but you have to ease him in. Malik Fofana is slightly ahead of the game. There's reasons why I mentioned Malik Fofana. If you bring in an Isak and a Malik Fofana, I understand it, because with obviously Gakpo, we don't know, obviously in a year later, Malik Fofana, 35 million pounds, around that sort of fee. It's a good fee, and it's a fee, and it's a deal that makes sense from a Liverpool perspective. So let's wait and see. No, and Elliott's homegrown. Fair play, we do. That's actually a decent comment. But then you're bringing in Guehi, who will take his place. Yes, we will have to wait and see how that deal plays out. Oops, sorry guys. We'll see how that deal plays out. There's a massive 7 days left. Liverpool have to act. Liverpool have to show intent in terms of getting these two main players through the door. 7 days to go, guys. How many come through the door? How many players now? Are we still confident that 2 come through the door in terms of Guehi and Isak? Or do we think that Liverpool have something up their sleeves where 3 might come through the door? Or if you're feeling as though Liverpool only get one through the door, which I can't see. Razif, 2 more. Dame, 1. Wow. Shaq, 2. 6 days to go now. Catho goes. Apologies. Kirat, no new Fab video. I've not seen it. Fabrizio Romano, Isak is fighting to join Liverpool. He is pushing. Alexander Isak is pushing. He wants Liverpool Football Club. And to be fair to him, man, look, Alexander Isak has done every single thing to get his move to Liverpool. He's done whatever it takes. He's even the big owners are in town, and he's still wanting to join Liverpool. How can you not now go and pay the fee? I don't think Liverpool would have allowed Alexander Isak to go this far for us not to have made a move for Alexander Isak. It just doesn't make sense. If we were not willing to go, we know the fee from what we've been told. I think Liverpool have been told that it's 130 million, around that sort of fee. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But I'm confident that Liverpool will get their man. And when he's paraded, hopefully before Sunday, imagine him being paraded before the game. Liverpool are going to be so up for it. The fans are going to be mental. Like, we're going to go mental for him to come through that door if he is unveiled at Anfield before the Arsenal game. And it'll be a crazy, crazy occasion. What I would do for that day, it looks like I might not even be doing another watch along on Sunday. I'm only joking. I promise you I will be on the watch along. And Gurj, good to see you yesterday, Cheen. BNR crew out in full force. Quality night. Gurj, pleasure, man. It's always a pleasure to see you boys when we're at the games. And you've always supported us from day one. So big up to you and everybody, and especially all that Punjabi community. You've always showed us a lot of love, man. So respect to you and big up for sorting one of the brothers out as well. So Alexander Isak, when do you guys think he gets done? When do you think Liverpool make play, and when do you think this signing gets done? Do you guys believe that Liverpool will wait to the final day of the window, or do you believe it gets done before Friday? I think it's going to get done before Friday. That's my prediction. I think it gets done and it breaks the internet like Ash says. 2 days, I presume Stan goes Friday evening, Thursday. We love a Friday. Bid tomorrow, a done Friday, I reckon. I think Isak Friday is a good one. We always love a Friday. We like to announce players on a Friday. It's always been our thing. So let's wait and see what happens. We had another super chat. And big up to Moose Abdul, if I've hopefully said your name correctly. He's your Neek Maka profile, and Ryan too on sub. We struggled. We do struggle. There's no doubt. We did miss Maka yesterday. In terms of, especially when they were down to 10, we missed his control. We missed somebody being able to be a calming influence. I love Maka whenever he plays. He's just a beautiful footballer. And what I need from Maka more than anything is he brings balls. He brings that sort of thinking, Argentinian, South American grit, that I'm here and I'm going to do what I want sort of thing. And he's a brilliant footballer. We definitely missed him yesterday. Look, Newcastle is always a difficult game, regardless of who it is. You can have the best midfield in the world. When you're up against Tonali, Guimaraes and Joe Linton, that is a battle, like a literal battle on their quality. Yes, look, now the game's gone. I've given them a lot of abuse online and sort of. They're giving me abuse. But let's face it, them three are quality footballers. They know exactly what their role is. They know exactly how to play in that midfield. I love Sandro Tonali. I think he's a brilliant footballer. He's a bit of a prick yesterday, but as a footballer, let's not knock him. Guimaraes is a winner. And Joe Linton does what no other player in the Premier League does. He's a physical specimen. He's a bit of a prick, but he's a physical specimen. He does what is needed for that team to tick. And it's always difficult. I thought Gravenberch had a really, really good game. That early yellow card did stifle him a little bit for the next 15 minutes. But I thought after that, I thought he was brilliant. And managed to get his goal as well. Ali, he goes, Gene Isak told him to F off. Look, a player is not going to go down that road to this sort of level and then say, oh, I'm staying. I would have been shell shocked if he'd have stayed and said that. He's literally said he wants out. He's had a conversation with the owners. He wants out. We want him. He wants to come to the champions. And he wants to play for Liverpool Football Club. I think we will collect our Isak winnings. Like somebody said, Cloud Cuckoo Man, time to collect our Isak winnings. Big up. We will be collecting our Isak's winning, hopefully before the end of play on Friday. Jeremy Pino to Palace. Palace are in advanced talks for Pino. I don't know. Pino is that Villarreal guy. He's not a centre back. I'm sure he's a winger sort of player. I think I'm done, guys. I've done the supers. Anfield sector, have they said something else people are saying? I think I've gone through it, guys. Oops. I think I missed one. Let me get this. Anfield sector. Yeah, he's the replacement for... All right, Anfield sector 4 minutes ago. Big development. Piff and Jamie Rubin's meeting with Isak seems to be unsuccessful. Yeah, look, we were speaking about this. They tried their very, very best to keep him, but no. Alexander Isak wants out. And another one from Fabrizio. A crucial hours. They need to find a solution. They need to find a solution between Liverpool, Newcastle, and Isak. I think we will get a resolution now. We will get the player. I think they're gonna have to accept the fact that he's gonna be leaving their football club and wants out. They tried their best. Fair play to them. They tried to convince him. That hasn't happened. Now it's about trying to agree with Liverpool, and hopefully Alexander Isak will be a Liverpool player come the 1st of September. Anyway, guys, there's still nearly 500 of you in here. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. We will be going tonight at 10:30, so definitely join us for that one. Yeah, I think we've got a full panel. Asim is back. Gene, I think we're putting a bid today. Look, nothing surprises me now. If Fabrizio's mentioning ours, don't be surprised that Liverpool actually make their move for him, especially over the next few days. But if it's ours, we'll all be it. I'm happy for it, and I hope it's done. I want to see the unveiling on Sunday, and I'm confident that we will get this player through the door. But again, guys, yes, definitely join us tonight for 10:30. Massive show, hopefully a full panel. My kids have come back down. I've got to go. So big up to everybody. Thank you for your support. Liverpool are on their way. They're on the way of getting Alexander Isak. Take care and goodbye.